friends. Today I wanted to talk about things that we carry around with us that kind of harden our hearts, darken them. It's things like anger, withholding forgiveness, resentment, sorrow, pains, afflictions, disappointments, all those kind of negative emotions that we carry around. And how do we get rid of them? And oftentimes we find ourselves praying to God and saying, please just remove this from me. It's as if we want God to cut it out of our hearts and just take it away with no effort on our part because we think that we're ready to give it up. And so I wanted to talk today about being ready to give things up and what that looks like. And there's a lot of ways to kind of think about this. I've heard it described as carrying around baggage in your life, rocks in your backpack. But I like to think of us as a vessel that has the ability to choose for itself what it gets filled with, right? Because a vessel gets filled with things. And so we use our agency to fill our vessels with either light or darkness. And oftentimes we unknowingly fill our lives with darkness because we don't realize that we're still carrying these things around. A lot of times we can kind of stuff our feelings and feel like just because I've stuffed it, I've moved on. And you haven't. Those things need to come up and come out because they affect every other thing that we do in our life. We meet every other situation and relationship with all those pent up negative emotions that just kind of ooze out onto everything else. And they're holding us back. They're keeping us stuck from moving forward and becoming who we want to become because we haven't gotten rid of those things yet. And so if we think about ourselves as being a vessel and we've gotten ourselves into a situation where we've filled ourselves up with darkness, we have to find a way to pour that out before the Lord can pour in. And so sometimes the problem might be is that I've got this little vessel here with some darkness in it, which is called Diet Coke. Sometimes those negative emotions have become constant companions to us. We actually find them a little delicious and comforting, and we may be addicted to them because they've been with us for so long, or we feel justified, or we feel like, let's say, anger is serving us. It's protecting us somehow, and so we keep it around because we think that we need it. And then we're praying to say, why am I not moving forward? Why am I stuck? Why am I not doing these things? It's because we haven't let go. And if you think about the law of sacrifice is that you have to put something in to get something out, right? That's why there were altars in the Old Testament where animals were being sacrificed. When Christ came in the New Testament, we no longer needed animal sacrifice. And so what that is, that sacrifice now is putting this Diet Coke on the altar, putting that anger, the resentments, the sorrow, the constant physical pains, things like that, that we carry around with us that kind of hold us back. We've got to pour them out ourselves. We pour them out. We offer them up. And then the atonement of Jesus Christ fills in that gap, fills in that hole, and makes us whole and gives us peace and light so that we can be healed and move forward. And we want to do this pouring out because we are agents who act and choose for themselves. We can't take this Diet Coke with us to the eternities. There's no room for darkness in the Lord's kingdom. All this has to be purified and sanctified. And the only way that is done is when we offer it up. And so it behooves us to get rid of this Diet Coke in our lives because it also blocks us. It hardens our heart. It keeps us from the Lord, from receiving revelation, from reaching our fullest potential, from having wonderful things happen in our lives and having light and joy. And so we want to get rid of those things. And there are many, many ways that you can learn how to pour out and learn what is in there still that needs to be cleaned up. I just realized yesterday I woke up with kind of sorrow in my heart over something that I thought that I had worked through and was done with. And so it kind of took me by surprise that I was still a little sad and maybe even a little resentful of this situation in my life. And so I'm working really hard to get all those things cleaned up so that I can have more light and purity poured into my vessel. And so hopefully that helps somebody out there who might be struggling and wondering, why is this not working? What is happening? What's going on? And there are many ways. Have hope. There are many ways to learn to pour out. And it is worth it in the end, even though it takes a lot of work. And you have to learn how to sit with your feelings and feel your feelings instead of stuffing them and moving forward. But it's so worth it in the end because we need to be spotless and our vessels need to be clean and pure. And so thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.